Hi everybody and welcome to Uni Tunes, the podcast where Archie and I will be interviewing and chatting to Sydney's freshest musical talent. I'm Fynn.
And I'm Archie. Before we begin, we acknowledge and pay our respects to the traditional custodians of the land on which we broadcast, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and we pay our respects to the knowledge embedded forever within the Aboriginal custodianship of country. Sovereignty was never ceded. Australia always was and always will be Aboriginal land.
Today on the show, we are lucky to be joined by Luke Botting, also known by his current alias, BENJI BREAKZ, who is a multi-genre DJ and producer from Sydney. Could you tell us a bit about yourself, Luke?
Yo, well, thank you for having me. My name's Luke. I run the University of Sydney DJ Society. I'm a music producer. I'm a pianist, composer, so I do a little bit of everything. I've been making music for best part of 8 or 9 years now. Been DJing for about 7. Everything all sort of goes very hand in hand with what I do at the moment. So, yeah.
That's a heap of experience under your belt. So it's a privilege to get to talk to you today and kind of learn a little bit about, I'm sure, the many things you know. At the beginning of every episode, we start with some cheeky rapid fire questions. You can elaborate if you want. Okay. There's no time limit. But Archie, do you want to take us away?
Sure thing. Here we go. So, question 1. How long have you been making music for?
Oh, well, 9 years.
Here we go. Favorite artist right now?
Ooh. I probably couldn't say just one. I have, because I'm, so into different genres, it would span a lot of different, genres. So, if I'd say one, probably Culture Shock. He's a drum and bass artist, but there are plenty others as well.
Cool. Favorite album right now?
Oh... Le Piano by Donny Benet. It's not an album, actually. It's an EP, but it slaps.
It works. Music guilty pleasure.
Oh, next question. Don't know.
All right. Music unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. Yeah, go for the next one.
This is so rapid fire, we're not even answering them. Newest music discovery.
Oh, in terms of production, I recently discovered a new reverb the other day, which was very, very exciting. And I'm not going to go too into detail with it, but it did definitely switch things up a bit for me.
We'll be hearing it soon.
Yeah.
Oh. Favorite TV show right now?
I don't watch TV, to be honest. Probably just the news. How exciting.
No. Thrilling.
Last played track on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever streaming service you use.
Ooh. Yeah, it might have actually been one of my tunes, just to make sure, because of today. I just wanted to make sure everything sounded okay. So, probably one of mine. It might have been Hold On.
Same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Favorite experience as a musician so far?
Playing at Manning Bar the other week was really good fun.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's how
we can elaborate a bit on that.
Yeah,
a bit later. Yeah.
Explain your sound in 3 words.
Oh, okay. I'd say a little bit experimental, ambient, and somewhat heavy hitting. Sorry, that was more than 3 words.
That's all right.
There you go.
I'll forgive you.
3 phrases works.
3 phrases, yeah.
So after making music for 9 years, it was... Sorry, this isn't rapid fire anymore.
That's okay. Yeah. I did struggle.
That's all good. You got 6 out of 10. It's all good. After making music for 9 years, it was only July last year when you decided to release your music to the world.
Yeah.
With your 4-track dance EP, Initiate. So what inspired you to finally drop?
That is a very good question. And I'd been sat on that EP for probably two years before I even released it. I've always been someone that's, I've always just made music just for the sake of making music. I never really cared so much about other people hearing it. But now I'm sort of okay, I really enjoy doing this. I want to take it a bit more seriously. So then, I released it and I just thought it was time. So I created the little EP cover art and got everything sorted. Uploaded it to the distributor and within 2 weeks it was out into the world. So as I said, I thought it was probably time that I just get stuff out there.
Yeah, it's a great EP. So
Thank you.
but it's not under your name, which is Luke Botting.
Nah,
it's
not
under
my
BENJI
name.
BREAKZ.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
So
a
it's
bit?
a little A-list. So I've always sucked with A-listers. I'm constantly chop it and change them. So my first one was Artisan, but when I looked on Spotify, there were a heap of other artisans. So I was just like, oh my gosh, how's anybody going to find me? There's going to be so many other ones. And how do I like copyright this? So, or trademark, whatever. So I thought it would be a bit of a challenge. So I changed it to BENJI BREAKZ. So Benjamin is my second name.
Oh,
and
sick.
I was quite enjoying breakbeat at the same time. But yeah, so that's where it came from.
Nice. It's a good name. Good
Thank
alias.
you.
You know, got the alliteration, got the Z.
Yeah.
That's a cool little touch.
Yeah.
How did you why BENJI BREAKZ like specifically?
Well, yeah, literally my second name and breakbeat. So
I think I just zoned out for a second.
The two together, and I was like, that could work actually.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So with your EP and your new single as well, it's that's like, very solid. But then on your SoundCloud, there's a bunch of other mixes.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, is SoundCloud a good kind of platform to experiment with the music you want to kind of put out there, but not, the formal release?
Yeah, no, I think it is. It's in a way, it's kind of less formal. You can just upload stuff straight to SoundCloud, and within like 10 minutes, it'll be up there. Whereas with Spotify, you got to go through the whole, process of putting your music through a distributor. And then, if you want to take something off SoundCloud, you can do it right there and then. But in terms of like, I think it is a good platform just to, shove something up and see if it works. You can put mixes up, which I believe you can't do on Spotify at the moment. Maybe you can. But yeah, if I was ever to do like a mashup or a mix, SoundCloud's easy as. And if I just wanted to do like a little edit or something, which I might not get away with on Spotify because of copyright, for instance, it could probably go up on SoundCloud. So yeah, it's a different platform, and it's better for different for certain things.
Yeah, fantastic.
With your EP, did you have a lot of songs that like didn't like you had on your like list before, and you're like, oh, like should I put this one on? Like, did you have a lot of songs that didn't make it to the first EP?
No, I had those four. Like I just started working on them a few years ago, and I was like, okay, these four, I like them. I want these ones to go in. All the rest didn't quite make it, because occasionally, you'll make music and you'll have some bad ideas. Maybe you'll like them to begin with, and then after you listen back to them, you're like, okay, nah, this doesn't cut it. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the case with every art form. Create and then you hate it, and it's just a cycle of quickly getting it out before you have the chance to hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about your new single, Aura.
Yeah.
Very solid vibe. Very cool.
Thank you. You like the drum and bass, liquid drum and bass vibes?
It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. It came out in a post-lockdown context as contrast to your EP. So did the reopening of clubs inspire you when you were releasing?
Wow, that is a very good question. I actually made that during lockdown.
Oh, wonderful.
So that was back in 2020. I'd worked on it, and music was a great sort of escape from the lockdown shenanigans, I suppose. So I worked on it, and I got it to a stage where I was pretty happy with it. But then, like with my EP, I sat on it for ages.
Yeah.
And then I waited for the right time, and and then I just released it. But that was sort of the story behind that one.
Yeah, cool. Speaking of stories, this is a top tier segue.
Okay.
When you're releasing music without lyrics, it's dance music, it's not uncommon. Are you still hoping to tell a story, or is it more kind of like a vibe you're trying to convey?
Yeah, it's another good question. I would love to work with more vocalists.
Yeah.
I think it's a different type of storytelling though. I mean, I usually have like a sort of vibe that I'm going for. Whether or not it necessarily tells a story, I don't know. It's all very like personal, isn't it? And very subjective. It can mean, something to somebody and something different to somebody else. So yeah, I'd say at the moment it's more like a vibe, because I feel like with lyrics it does help with storytelling a bit more, but it also depends on like the lyrics themselves as well.
So being born in Australia but raised in UK, you've played DJ sets at clubs and bars on both sides of the world.
Yeah.
Are gigs in the UK different to ones here? Do you prefer one?
Oh yeah. Okay. How do I answer that? Gosh. I first started DJing, back in 2015 or so. and I got my first few gigs were actually during college when I was in the UK, and so the I suppose the crowd was very, very different over there. They like a lot of drum and bass, and back, at that time, jump up was very popular, which is a sort of subgenre of drum and bass, and a lot of the dance culture is really, really strong over in the UK.
Interesting. Really,
really strong. So like they'll want to hear house music, UK garage, drum and bass, those sorts of genres. Whereas over here, do you know what? Yeah, you'd probably want to play still a lot of house, but I feel like tech house is possibly a bit bigger over here when you've got names like Fisher and Dom Dollar who are Aussie. Drum and bass is certainly getting a bit bigger over here, but definitely nowhere near as much as in the UK. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll keep rising in popularity.
In your music, do you feel like one kind of preference kind of dominates, or do you think like your music's more of a convergence of that kind of
UK taste. Yeah, that's a good
taste.
question. So a lot of my influence comes from the UK.
Right.
So like especially with the drum and bass, liquid drum and bass stuff. I'm working on a few drum and bass tracks as well. So yeah, I'm always listening to the stuff that's coming out of the UK and seeing if I can work with any of that sort of sound. And in terms of like house, I really like artists like Dusky, and you probably would have heard of Bicep as well. And I just love the sort of atmosphere in their tunes. They've just, I think that's wicked. So I definitely like to try and, maybe not imitate, but I suppose, have a go with that sort of style of, more ambient house, electro, techno, whatever you want to call it, because genres are so like fluid now, So there you go.
Was it difficult to have that change? Like when you came to start DJing in Australia, was it difficult to even like get on a stage?
Yeah, actually, it did take me a little while to start getting into things. I would say when I first moved over, actually, I started working for a mobile DJing company, and that helped me, at least get playing. But it was a lot of house parties,
right?
And I did a few corporate events. I did a few like engagement parties. But yeah, just that got me up to speed quite quickly, because I sort of worked out, what people actually want to hear. Because if you're playing a pretty rubbish set, then you'll find out about it quite quickly, because nobody will be on the dance floor. And did learn that maybe the hard way once. But yeah, no, as I said, like I got up to speed quite quickly, and I'd say for like just your general sort of house party vibes, classics, maybe a little bit of house, disco, and
Manning, brilliant. Your set was great.
Oh, thank you.
Your energy was electrifying. And what I found interesting, I mean, I had uni class, so I came in like pretty early.
Yeah.
And when I walked in, you were like just going at it, like so much energy.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm just wondering, at the beginning of a set, when people are arriving, the dance floor is a bit empty. Is it more difficult to kind of put in all your energy when you don't really have anything to feed off?
Okay. So when I found out that I was going to be doing the first hour slot, I sort of had it in my mind that I wanted to do like a more sort of warm-up set. And there's sort of like, warm-up sets usually, I guess, it sets the scene for the rest of the night, but sets the vibe, I guess. But you don't want it to be absolutely heavy hitting.
Yeah.
Because especially as, Richon, Mashed and Kutcher and Kinder were on afterwards, like didn't want everybody to be going absolutely nuts as soon as they walked in, because then they'd probably have no energy for the headliners. So my sort of idea was just, to play some, fun, upbeat tunes, but nothing too like in your face.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure like I had that sort of vibe covered for the first hour. And then Carly, who took over after me, she went, pretty heavy then. So yeah, no, I thought it worked quite well. But yeah, definitely the first hour. Usually the warm-up set's quite sort of relaxed-ish, not too full on.
What I like kind of perceived was like you still really had like that kind of physical vibe going on.
Yeah.
So it, even though it was the beginning, like it very much set the scene for like that, like get into it. Like,
I'm glad you thought so.
I think it's time for the game.
We've got a game.
We've got a game. game about halfway through each show episode.
Yeah.
Today's game is you're going to put the artist to the lyric.
Okay.
All right. So
Let's see how we go.
you have 4 artists to choose from. Okay. They are Lorde, Nicki Minaj, Adele, and Justin Bieber.
Oh gosh.
I don't
What
even
a
know
selection.
these. I don't even know these lyrics.
Yeah, I didn't write the game down on the sheet so that Fynn doesn't know either.
Okay.
When I looked at the lyrics before, I was like, what? So good luck. I have no clue.
Blimey. Okay.
All right. So the first lyric. So I'll give you the lyric, and then you'll see if you can guess. And then we'll go move on to the next lyric. So the first lyric is: "We were born and raised in a summer haze, bound by the surprise of our glory days."
It's not Justin Bieber.
Let's go with Adele.
Correct.
Yes.
Nice.
Next one. They're gonna watch me disappear into the sun. You're all gonna watch me disappear into the sun.
That's too edgy to be Nicki Minaj or Justin Bieber. So
What's the other one? Started with L.
Lorde.
Lorde. Let's go with him.
You don't know Lorde? Sure, it's Lorde. Yeah.
No, haven't heard of him.
I believe it's her.
She's a pretty big artist. She did,
Oh, really?
I can't even remember the names of her songs right now.
No, I mean, I'm
Melodrama.
not a big Lorde fan either.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
my
man.
popular.
My girlfriend's going to
Sorry,
kill
Lorde.
me. I can't name a Lorde song. They're going to cancel our show. All right. This one is: "You say that I won't lose you, but you can't predict the future."
Should we go with Justin Bieber?
Yeah, it's Justin Bieber.
Yes.
Nice.
On fire.
Spot
Damn.
on every time.
Right, this kind of ruins the last one. But still,
Totally not guessing.
I probably should have given 5 artists so that the
was
last question's harder. But
Right. Well,
Do you know what? I'm going to guess.
okay,
I'm
give
going
it
to
a go.
say that it's Nicki Minaj. but
Yeah, it's Nicki Minaj.
No way. All right. What
That's
were
my
those
bad.
lyrics?
How do I go from bars on the screen door to the TV screen?
Right. Okay. There you go.
I feel like I could have made the game a little bit harder. It's on
right.
me.
I mean, one of the artists wasn't even known, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I guess
got it.
maybe it was hard
Sorry.
enough. No, it's okay.
It's still a bit of a work in progress, the game's part. But oh well.
I mean, what is a talk show without a good cheeky game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or a half good cheeky game.
A decent, kind of solid cheeky game. Before the game, we're having a chat about the Manning gig.
Yeah.
Everyone.
It was wicked.
Yeah.
That was such a good gig. And for us, as DJ Sock, to see that Manning Bar just totally sold out. It was just unreal, especially after 2 years of no student parties.
Yeah. It was a big
that was so
return.
encouraging. Yeah, absolutely. So encouraging to see. And we're hoping to do some more as well. They need it. They need it because there's just been not enough happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said, really, really good to see.
The funny thing was, I think the first week back, I saw in Honey, an article oh, Manning's dead. And then right after that, it was Manning's back.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't actually read that on the article, but there you go. They were wrong.
You proved them wrong.
Yeah.
I saw on your Instagram that you met Right On. I think
Yeah.
that's how it's pronounced. And Ashton Kutcher, the guys, Adam and Matt. How are they?
Yeah. Right On was pretty awesome. I don't know. I called it Brit On, but there you go.
I've got no clue.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I looked it up
There
and I
you
couldn't
go.
find anything. But
Okay.
his Instagram handle is Right On Time.
Right On. Well, there you go. It must be Right On. So I was wrong. Okay, in that case. No, he was a solid dude.
Nice.
It was quite funny. He was chugging a bottle of wine, mid-set. I say mid-set. He was just
Full Matty Healy energy.
every few minutes having a solid swig. And no, he had a lot of energy. His set was very, very much hype. But so was Ashton Kutcher's as well. He seemed like a pretty fun guy from Newcastle, UK.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Was it daunting to go on before such big names?
I didn't really think of it. I just did it. I was like, oh, this is wicked. I'm not headlining. Definitely not headlining. I'm warming up for these huge names. And obviously I got some big shoes to fill.
Was that DJ Sock that got them in?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, sorry, no. So
that
DJ
was-
Sock, obviously I run DJ Sock with so the USU contacted DJ Sock for the first 2 DJs, And then the USU organized the headliners.
Oh, right.
Kinder, Right On, and Mashed and
They're
Culture.
pretty good with their connections. Ocean Alley, far out.
I know. I couldn't believe the Work and Week lineup. That was just stacked.
Yeah. Most importantly, before I finally stop talking about Anning, most importantly, did you get on the beers?
Did I get on the beers? I didn't, because I was driving. And the reason I was driving was because actually I had to do my DJ training class. So as part of the DJ Society, we run a DJ training course for students that are interested in DJing and haven't necessarily had any experience before. So we provide all the equipment. We have a 4-week course, and it just so happened that my class was after that set. So the reason I was driving is because I had all the equipment in my car, and obviously I couldn't, get it to uni any other way. So no, I wasn't. Next one, I'm very much hoping that I will be. So there you go. But yeah, if you're interested in DJ training, then hit up the DJ Society.
You heard it here, folks.
Oh, yeah.
I just said folk first. Yeah, listen to the DJ Society. Join it and learn how to DJ. And also drive responsibly.
Do that too.
That was a good public service announcement.
How much has DJ Sock helped you? Have you moved up the ranks in DJ Sock, or did you start DJ Sock?
Well, have I moved up the ranks? I suppose I sort of started from the top, I guess.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that is a lie. When I first joined university, the society was running, and there were a different group of executives, but they all graduated pretty much at the same sort of time. So then the society just sort of ceased to exist.
Oh.
And so we had a good year where there was nothing happening because they'd all graduated. And then I just got a few friends together and I said, hey, look, this was a really cool thing. We should restart it. So I was, we did our annual general meeting and I was elected in as the president. And then, I had vice president, secretary, treasurer. And then, we just sort of took it from not from the ground up, but, we took it up again. And yeah, so that's sort of how it happened. I've been doing it for the last 3 years. Obviously, 2 years during the pandemic were a bit of a challenge, so we sort of had to move to a more online format. So a few Zoom meetings, and we called them online beat retreats, where we would play music through this website, and then we just do a little jukebox sort of session. And I also ran some music production classes as well for free.
Oh, sick.
So yeah, we did get a few things done during the lockdown.
What would you say is your greatest achievement as the leader of DJ Sock?
Okay. There are probably a number of things. I feel like the whole DJ training has been a real, that's definitely something that I've really, really something that I've enjoyed, and it is a really rewarding experience, seeing all these students take up a new hobby, I guess. I mean, some find that it's not necessarily for them, it is an introductory course, but we have had a few that are interested in buying their own DJ equipment now after completing the course. So that tells you basically that they're interested and want to keep it going. What else? Doing the events, just getting people together. And I suppose, being able to provide other student DJs with opportunities is I feel like that's quite a reasonable achievement.
I think this whole show is just an ad for most of the time. It's just an ad.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so that was sort of my intention, but not.
I think, did you tell us to put these DJ Sock questions in? So do you think it's worthwhile for a new DJ to sort of buy all of the gear?
Not buy all of the gear, but buy some gear. I mean, it depends what you mean by all of the gear. If that means a set of...
What's a starter pack? Where should I begin?
All right, so if you're interested, get yourself a pair of headphones. Get yourself a very entry-level DJ controller, like a DDJ 200 or a DDJ 400.
Link in
we
bio.
use the DDJ 400s. I've got 7 of them in my car. And so the reason we chose those ones because they're very intuitive, they're very easy to learn, and that will literally give you a very solid understanding of how DJing actually works. What else? Maybe a pair of speakers or a Bluetooth speaker or something that you can plug an aux into So you can just hear the music that you're actually playing instead of just on the headphones.
So what is next for Luke Botting or BENJI BREAKZ?
Well, I am sat on about 6 or 7 different tracks at the moment. As I said to you earlier, like the music that you've heard today, that's all stuff that I worked on quite a long time ago. And so like, because I've been working on all this new stuff, essentially my plan was to have like a real backlog of music. So if I ever like had a sort of dry spell, like didn't have any inspiration, I'd at least have stuff ready to go. But my plan hasn't really worked because uni takes up a lot of my life and I don't have the time to like make cover art for. I mean, that's literally what I've got to do. I've got to make like 7 or 8 cover arts. So I've got a lot of tunes that I need to get out, and I'm pretty happy with these ones.
Nice, that's
like,
so exciting.
I feel like the production quality is getting better and better. I mean,
Ooh.
All right. Last question.
Yeah.
That was a good second last question. It was long.
Okay.
I loved it.
All right, proper last question. Okay. So at the end of every show, we're asking, we're compiling a playlist for all the favorite songs of our artists that are on the show. So what's your favorite song that you want to put on our playlist?
Ooh. Can it be any genre?
Yeah.
Anything at all.
Any genre.
And then is there also a second playlist with your favorite song from like your own music?
Yeah.
Okay. What's something I'm really liking at the moment? Culture Shock Reconstruct is a bit of a banger.
Okay.
Yeah, but it'll probably be so different to everything that you've got on there. So
That's great. That's what we want.
Okay,
Different.
good. As I said, I was into a bit of Culture Shock recently. I say recently, I'm always in. Yeah.
Recently, for the past several years.
Yeah, pretty much. And then in terms of, so I can pick any of my tracks.
Yes.
Okay. Which ones do you guys like?
I actually enjoyed the funk when we were playing it. That was cool.
Did you enjoy
That's a tune.
It's funny because the funk was the one I was the least like, I just want to get this done. And so many people have commented like, I really like the funk.
I think that happened last episode too.
Okay.
Yeah, we chose like the we always choose the unpopular ones with the ones that are like, oh no, that's not my favorite.
It's funny how that works. I don't know why, but clearly it was the one that
Maybe it's like the least you indulge yourself, the more. I don't know.
Yeah, no, possibly. But I was just like, I want to get this one done. I'm sort of fed up of listening to it now, and it seems it was the most popular on the Spotify analytics or whatever. So feel free to put on the funk.
All right, we'll put that on. You know what? We'll even play it at the end of the broadcast.
Oh, wonderful.
The podcast, the listeners won't hear that.
Well, they could if you edit it in.
Okay, I guess I'll just have to.
Go on, do it.
I think we'll end the show there.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. That was lots of fun.
It was a
I
blast.
sucked at the beginning. Blimey.
No, it's all right. We
oh my God.
I think we asked you the same question a couple of times, so it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't mind.
All right. So if we're going to end there, I'll say that's all, folks.